Elizabeth Blackwell, Changing the Medical World Forever, by Rachel Kirby, Abby Worley, and Abby Zander.
Our group found inspiration for 2017's National History Day by determining what event in history made our dream of becoming doctors a possibility. Thank you, Elizabeth Blackwell, for taking a stand in history, which is ironically the topic for National History Day 2017. Before Elizabeth Blackwell took a stand for women, the thought of a female doctor wouldn't have passed through any man or woman's mind.
Elizabeth Blackwell was born in England in 1821. She was the third of 7 children. Her parents were Hannah and Samuel Blackwell. She had 4 sisters and 3 brothers. In that time, women had no access to a higher education, such as medical school or even college. However, her parents always felt that women deserved an equal education to men. She studied many years as a musician. However, when she visited a sick friend suffering of cancer, her friend told her how hard it was to have a male doctor, and if she had had a female doctor, she wouldn't have as bad of a sickness, if even have a sickness at all. Because Blackwell always had the desire to learn, her friend suggested that she should study medicine.
Though Elizabeth Blackwell was opposed by the idea of becoming a female physician, she soon began to realize that the challenge of becoming a doctor intrigued her. Blackwell, not knowing how to succeed in this newfound dream of becoming a doctor, discussed the idea with many physicians known by her family. Although some encouraged the idea, most believed it was impossible because most women at the time were considered to be only useful for the 3 C's: cooking, cleaning, and children, not to mention the fact that there was no education for women, and it was expensive even for men.
Elizabeth did not agree with the unequal education of men versus women. She was known to say, "If society will not admit of a woman's free development, then society must be remodeled." End quote. Elizabeth Blackwell. Elizabeth Blackwell decided to take that slim chance of becoming a doctor, therefore taking over a man's job. When she was 24, Blackwell officially decided to take a stand for women.
She soon after applied to the 4 best medical universities in Philadelphia, but, as suspected, was turned away without a second glance. Soon, she found herself applying to every medical school in Philadelphia and New York City. A total of 29 schools turned her down. After applying to a total of 29 universities, Elizabeth Blackwell was finally accepted to the Geneva Medical College.
However, when Elizabeth finally attended classes in November, she found out that the administrators, not knowing whether to accept her or not, had let the young men decide. Taking it as a joke, they all said yes.
So Blackwell getting into college was just a big joke. Despite harsh discrimination and judgment provided by her peers and professors, she soon reached top grades in all of her classes.
Although Elizabeth was an outstanding student, people still judged her for being a woman in medical school. Many people accused her of being a witch or mentally insane. Elizabeth's experience in medical school would have been very similar to Jenny Trout's experience in medical school. Jenny Trout was Canada's first female doctor. Here's a clip of her.
Send them home. Get rid of them. Gentlemen, please. And so, this organ, which I regret I cannot name, because of the presence of these members of the weaker sex, who, although they are married, could not possibly endure...
Get them out.
Patience, Jenny. Patience.
Get them out!
Dr. McFarland!
Mrs. Trout.
There's no place for women in a medical school.
Get them out!
If you do not bring this classroom under...
After facing much discrimination and many hardships, Elizabeth Blackwell graduated medical school. She graduated with flying colors. Even though she did so well, nobody saw her that way.
Though Blackwell had received all the necessary training to become a doctor, she was soon banned from practicing medicine by the medical community. However, she decided to continue her studies in Europe, only to find the hospitals in England repulsed to the idea of having a female doctor as well.
After several months of searching for a job, she was finally admitted to the hospital in Paris, La Maternite, where she was treated as a student midwife, not as a physician.
However, Blackwell's studies were cut short when she contracted a disease, resulting in one eye being removed. This prevented her from fulfilling a dream of becoming a surgeon.
After getting her eye removed, she returned to England in 1850 and was accepted as an intern at St. Bartholomew's Hospital through the help of a cousin.
A year later, Blackwell returned to New York City determined to open her own practice, as she found no male doctor would accept her as an associate.
Even though she was certified to practice medicine, no landlord would loan her land to practice her medicine.
However, she eventually rented a room in Jersey City.
After her sister Emily received her medical degree in 1853, she joined Elizabeth. Together, they opened a clinic in the slums of New York City for women and children. A year later, she became the first woman to enter her name on the medical register of the United Kingdom. Now we are going to show us giving an interview to Dr. Angela Warden, someone who is impacted by what Elizabeth did.
So, Dr. Warden, what's your profession?
I am a pediatrician. I specialize in treating children.
Okay. And where did you go to school?
Well, to become a medical doctor, I had to first do 4 years of undergraduate at the University of Tennessee, where I majored in biochemistry and chemistry, and got a bachelor's of science degree. After that, I was accepted to Emory Medical School in Atlanta, Georgia, and there I completed 4 years of medical school and graduated with a medical degree. And after that, I had to do 3 years of residency training in pediatrics at the University of Alabama Children's Hospital in Birmingham. And after that, I was officially a pediatrician after 11 years of training.
Well, Elizabeth Blackwell faced a lot of discrimination throughout her schooling and even throughout her career. Had you ever felt any discrimination?
No, I can fortunately say that I never felt like I was discriminated against, in my education. In fact, in my medical school class at Emory, there were 50 women and 50 men, so it was completely even. So.
And do you think that Elizabeth Blackwell really impacted that?
I think if it wasn't for Elizabeth Blackwell, that I may not even be a medical doctor. It may have been years after that before I could have even, attempted to go to the degree of education that I achieved because of her. So she did some great things for women in medicine. And not only in women in medicine, but she also paved the way for women in engineering, women lawyers, women in politics, all these professions, because she opened the door for women in medicine.
Yeah, I completely agree with you.
Mm-hmm.
So you really enjoy being a doctor?
I truly love being a pediatrician.